Hey, everybody out there on the internet's Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, Coliseum 2. This is it. This is where we crown the gladiator of gladiators. It's either going to be Falcon Hit or it's going to be Zen0bian. My name, though, is the Schwantz27. I am joined in the broadcast booth by Saberwolf. How's it going tonight,
Oh, it is final time again. 2 nights in a row, man. Woo!
Yeah, I'm loving this. So thank you, Saberwolf, for pressing all the buttons and beepity bops behind the scene to do the restreaming for us. Thank you as well to Ceiling Cat, our world-class tracker, pushing all the buttons on the screen so that you don't have to. And yeah, in case you missed it, we did a little bit of a rundown for you in the preview show, but Zen0bian was able to best Falcon Hit in yesterday's matchup. He was about 90 seconds ahead, so it was a super duper close race. Definitely go back and watch it. Not now, though, because now is the final.
Stay here.
Stay here. And what are we working with tonight, Saberwolf?
Oh, we're working with the Moogles. We represent all the Moogles here with the Moogles flag set. It is Mog's Lance. +5 speed, +5 vigor, and that's going to be really good for the jumper and all of us for getting those jumps a little bit faster and hitting them a little bit harder. Now, Coliseum Wind gives us a Dragoon set. And an objective is Lone Wolf 8 dances, because all of these flag sets are based on the characters from the game, and all the characters, the first starting character will be of that flag set start, and will have their vanilla skill set. So Mog will have the dances. We'll see if the runners will use those dances or not, because the dances will be shuffled. And as a little thing from Worlds Collide, there is no dancing fails, so dances will work. It's just whatever ones you're going to get. If you kill 2 and 4 dragons, you get additional Dragoon sets for killing each of those levels of dragons. Items and relics are 100% equipable. So that means all the characters will be able to use all the items and all the relics, unlike yesterday where we had a little bit of offensive issues. Now, YNPC mascot, unfortunately, is not working, tonight. So that's actually out, so womp womp. And if you can't get enough Moogle suits, well, every single character, at least 10 of them, will have Moogle skins. Now, I believe that is everyone except for Terra and Locke. And I think
Umaro and Gogo.
Yeah, Umaro, Gogo, Locke, and Terra will be in their original regular skins, while all the other characters in the game will have Moogle skins. And then, of course, kapow, you gotta have that in there.
So do you think the Moogle skins are real Moogle, or is it synthetic Moogle? I hope it's the latter and not the former.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is if you want to get really technological with this, the Moogle's places are actually Moogle placements for the characters that will be joining later. There's actually bugs in the game that if you skip certain scenes, like rescuing Celeste from the basement, if you skip that part and go to Narsh before you had to defend against Kefka, Celeste's character will actually be a Moogle.
Yeah.
So
I think you can do that with Realm and Strago, too.
Yep, you can do the Realm and Strago as well.
They're going to be Moogles in this particular seed, so that means that's an interesting wrinkle in our checks here, because our runners won't be able to tell which characters they can peek, right? It'll just be a Moogle, so they don't know which character it'll be, but they will know that it's a character with the Moogle suit there. Also, 100% equipable items means that we're going to be looking at character stats and character bonuses rather than equipable item pool in this particular race to see who is going to stay in our final party. I'm expecting both runners going to the Coliseum early to get that Dragoon set. What do you think here, Saber?
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I do think we're going to do the Moogle check very soon. The only problem with that is like you have the Kefka check that's also up there.
Mm-hmm.
So having to fight a boss with only 2 characters instead of 3 characters even. So they might delay it a little bit, but yeah, big offensive drive for the Dragoon set. So.
Yeah, so I usually don't like to do Lone Wolf unless I have at least 4 characters in my party, maybe 5, so this way I can get a full party to go up against that Kefka Narsh boss. However, Lone Wolf is right smack in the middle of the Narsh chest, which has 6 items and 6 treasure chests in there, so we might see people triggering Lone Wolf before actually going to it and walking all the way up Narsh. We do need to get to our 6 characters and 9 espers. We get a Kefka Tower skip at 12 bosses, same as all of the other Coliseum flag sets. So I think our runners, we're really going to have to lean on as the match is now underway, who our secondary characters are, and we're going to see exactly who they are here.
A bunch of Moogles, like we said, Celeste, like we mentioned before, and Strago, like we mentioned before. So another Celeste and Strago start. That's 2 games in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, so Strago has Blitz, I believe, and I didn't exactly see what Celeste had on her. The dance that Mog has only has Cave In as one of the as the top spell, and I think Elfire is one of the secondary spells. So that's a pretty decent one for, again, single target. It's a single target fire spell, but nothing AoE here. And there goes Lone Wolf off and running. I don't know if either one of these runners will go up here right away, Saberwolf, as you mentioned, but with the 6 treasure chests in the shed, you're going to have to trigger Lone Wolf anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to run up there quite yet. We want to loot a little bit. Although Genji armor and the clock there and the house there kind of helps a little bit. And also Magus hats help a lot too. So we are finding some juicy items here already from Falcon Hits side, which we'll be running into shortly. We want to put out one more graphic that you don't normally see on screen. That is the Kupo heads. This marks the number of wins that each of our runners have so far in the tournament. This is a double elimination tournament. So this will be the grand final of all grand finals in this Coliseum 2 tournament, because they want to get that second Kupo head. And Falcon Hit is going to head further north.
Yeah, this is an interesting call. We do get a Yeti peek. It doesn't look like there's a character in there, so that'll be an Esper and item. So you can get Lone Wolf, and you can come back down. It's about 20 seconds up and about 20 seconds down, so it's 40 seconds, but it is considered a free check. You don't have to fight anything, and you get a choice between whatever Lone Wolf is holding. He'll tell you the exact high-tier item that he has, or whatever the character is on the left-hand side that will fall off. And if we know it's a Moogle, then we know it's a character. We just don't know which character it is. Merchant Sprite there at Kefka at Narsh means it's an Esper or an item. But as you mentioned, with just getting the loot, I don't think he's going to go for it. And it is an Imp Sprite. So what are we going to see here?
Could be an Esper, could be an item. I'll be flabbergasted if this is actually going to be a Lumina, though. It's a Magus Rod. We're going to pass on that one. So we're going to go for the Imp save here, fellow winged creature.
Yeah, so Magus Rod will give +7 magic power, but we've already seen Magus hats in shops, and it is a Genji glove.
Okay.
So I think I'd rather take a Genji glove than a Magus Rod, but either way, not the progression that we were potentially looking for there. And it looks like Falcon Hit is not going to bother with Kefka at Narsh. That's fine here, especially because, like I said, we are very early on in our looting. We've only looted 10 chests so far, and we have Celeste's South Figaro prisoner check. That is also another free check. So if you see, you don't get an Esper here up this first spot, Saberwolf, are you relieved that you're not going to be increasing scaling by perhaps 2 pieces of progression early? Or would you really like that Esper there?
I think it softens the blow given the fact that we get our all 8 dances. Now, I don't know if we're actually going to use those dances or not, because Mog is a natural Dragoon, being a spear user. But then again, everybody can use all the items, so I guess it really doesn't matter. You can make every single person on your team a Dragoon. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter honestly, to me. But yeah, Atlas Armlets, Hyper Wrists in the Relic Shop in Narsh, so that's even more offense for a jumping skill.
Yeah, good offensive relics there in that particular shop, and that's a good call mentioning that we get all 8 dances here. So the more dances we have, the more chances. You see what I did there? I'm a poet, and I don't even know it. It's Freestyle Friday here on Worlds Collide. No, it's not. It's actually Saturday.
It's chaos. Well, no, it's not quite Saturday yet. We're still
True. That's true. It's only 11:15. My days are running into one another. Anyway, so we haven't seen what all 8 of the dances are. I'm sure once we get a different menu, we'll see it. But continuing on the loot trek here into the Returner's hideout, pulling out an Aegis shield out of a chest. That's a pretty decent shield there. But so far, I'm not seeing anything really pop out at me here yet.
No, I'm not seeing anything popping out to me as well. And I do want to mention that Saturdays, we do community racing on Saturdays, 9 p.m. We call it Saturday Community Chaos. because of the chaos that Kefka does give to this game. So if you want to join on that, that's you're more than welcome to. It is a community event. Whoever is interested in running, we usually chit-chat to see what kind of flags we want to run. If we want to run some beta flags that are of a future patch that we're going to be doing, or if your group is your group in Ultros League and a bunch of you haven't run your weekly flags yet, which Saturday it's kind of getting a little late, very last minute. You and a group of you can also get in there and do your Ultros League run together all at the same time.
Yeah, so we hope to be bringing some more streams here to the FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel. We usually try to aim for Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday as well, 9 p.m. Eastern, right?
And you also got your gig on Wednesdays, too.
Yep, so Speed Gaming channel on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. is where we also usually have it. Runners pretty much following one another right now, which is more expected than we saw in the last seed with the open world flags.
But they still followed each other.
Yeah, they did. Certainly at the end of the race, definitely for sure. And in the beginning to grab all of the free fun stuff. So some earrings in a shop that pairs well with Dance, because Dance uses your magic power to do its damage. So very nice to grab some earrings right off the bat. And I'm noticing that Green Monkey had pointed out, rather, that Falcon Hit was buying some cheaper stuff, so maybe he's looking to turn trash into treasure at the Coliseum, and wow, there's something nice in a pot.
So the old cider guy in the basement left his rusty old Illumina there.
Lay off the moonshine, old man.
Adventuring days, I guess.
Yeah. So
I've been sticking to my moonshine instead.
So in the Grand Final A, our runners complained of lack of offense, and so far we've gotten Illumina, and we'll probably get a Dragoon set from winning in the Coliseum. So that's at least pretty good for us to start off here.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it doesn't even matter if you can roll or not. I mean, for Strago, we know Strago can roll the Illumina if we want him to. I mean, so it's anybody's game here. I mean, all of our tools are on the table. Oh, okay, and we also got a VK. Okay, well, you know what? We got a Illumina VK with a Genji glove, so yeah, okay.
Oh, well, here's an interesting conundrum. Zen0bian did not get that Valiant knife because he left. He left the World of Balance South Figaro here. Oh boy, that's a tough chest to miss, especially if it's that powerful.
Yeah, and that will, and since it's outside of South Figaro, that will not be the same as when he goes to World of Ruin here. As also finding a flame shield there on Falcon Hits side in the dungeon below. We are gonna double check. There we go. We fell down the stairs there for a quick second as we go see Shiva for the Celeste dungeon check. Our first match is on the board.
Yeah, Zen0bian said that he was going to be the one running into walls, but apparently Falcon Hit has had too much of that cider. And there's a Minerva in a box here in the World of Ruin, South Figaro. So the outside chests Saber Wolf mentioned are different, but the ones in the basement are the same. So Zen0bian will also probably get that flame shield there.
Yep, but missing on that VK is going to hurt a little bit. But we have a Genji armor, we have Minerva, flame shield, Illumina. Falcon Hit will have the VK, Zubini will not. Both runners have their 8 dances already, as we also pick up a ribbon here.
Yeah, so if we find Lock, that ribbon might be nice because of uncursing the shield, but we have no idea where our treasure hunter is as of yet.
Yeah, we gotta find Celeste's hubby here.
Yep. All right, so it'll be interesting to see where Falcon Hit goes after this if he double dips South Figaro, kind of like Zen0bian did, except Zen0bian missed the one chest that he really would have wanted to get there, which is quite unfortunate.
Now, even though
Zen0bian not get the Illumina either, we'll have to see about that as well. Because then that's a double whammy. Mute on that Shiva Esper, so that's nice for the end of the game. Natural Magic and X Magic there on Celeste.
Okay, I'm starting to...
Or is it on Strago?
I don't know. My brain's melting. There's too many Moogles on screen. Okay, so I guess we're just keeping a classic on Falcon Hit's side. Because although anybody can weld anything, their base stats are going to be slightly different. And it looks like Celeste with 52 magic power.
Ooh, very nice.
And also, I saw Mog has something in the 40s there.
Yeah, that's a really expensive shiny stone. Oh, jackpot. Boots and Horn in that shop right there.
Yeah, but we can get it for free, though. In Coliseum.
That's true, but if you
dragons.
want to get... That's true, but if you don't want to fight 4 dragons, if you only want to fight 2, then, you only get 2 sets. Zen0bian taking off the Moogle Charm, deciding to run away from this fight here.
Yeah, I don't think he has any Revivize or anything yet. Yep, it's going to slap the charm back on again. Yeah,
those woolies can be kind of a tough enemy. They do absorb lots of different types of magic. And unfortunately for Zen0bian, not finding the Illumina or the Valiant Knife means he can't hit it with a big stick either.
Falcon Hit doing the opposite side. Zen Thief here is going to check the price here.
It's got to be lower.
Much lower. 3K stray. Esper, we'll take it. With both 3 on one, and I saw a mute on the other. So
on the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 61,000 in the World of Balance. What was it? 3,700 in the World of Ruins. So
hey, it's hard times. It's hard times, man.
Yeah, to Zen Thief bought crypto in the World of Balance. Let that be a lesson to everybody. Anyway,
wow. Bravo, sir.
So we'll see where our runners decide to go for their first check. If this were me running this seed, I like Opera House Disruption opening play. There are some rat fixed encounters before the boss, and it's not too long of a time commitment, unlike Burning House, which is a lot longer of a time commitment here.
This is a vanilla, I want to say, encounter here outside of South Figure World of Ruin. And interesting pearl damage there, 777. I guess Falcon Hit bought his lottery ticket before the match.
Well, 7 is the holy number after all, right? Zen0bian finding those are not Lobos, those are the other wolves. I'm sorry, Saberwolf, I can't tell my wolves apart.
Yeah, this is the Lunaris variety. They're up indigenous to the northern hemisphere of the World of Ruin.
I would totally watch we should produce like a nature documentary.
Oh god, National Geographic Worlds Collide.
Of Worlds Collide monsters. Here is the Boris in his cloaked color. He's very hard to hit, but when he does get hit, he tends to fall over nice and smooth.
Well, wait, doesn't somebody have an overlay that can do that when you're playing the game? Like, I know there's an overlay that can do that.
Oh yeah, we gotta hire a David Attenborough voice acting.
Okay, shout out Spicy Chicken there. Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Zen0bian, these fights not great. Those tricksters don't reward any XP, and this necromancer is an undead enemy, but he also doesn't really reward a whole heck of a lot here either. Level 10 for Falcon Hit. We better be careful of he who shall not be named.
Oh, no. Not the floating skeleton guy, no. Okay, so our two dances are Cave-In, Elfire on the second one. I thought we were supposed
to get all 8 of them.
Well, we haven't... Whoa.
We've done Lone Wolf.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Bug that up again.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Oh, Morrow at the Fanatics Tower.
Okay,
very nice.
So apparently we have an issue here. We did not get our 8 dances for doing the Lone Wolf objective.
Or maybe it's 8 total dances and not 8...
No, it's 8 dances. Because you start with 2 dances when you start the game.
Interesting.
So that's a bug in the system, apparently.
Oh, you know what it is? It's Lone Wolf Moogle Room. So you have to go to the Moogle Room.
Oh, so it's the second part, not the first part.
Yes. We were debated. I'm so sorry, chat. We did not read the fine print.
Yep. Okay, well that makes it a little more difficult then, instead of just running up the hill.
And make a deal with God.
So in other words, we have to go to the World of Ruin Narsh. We have to go either in through Arvin's house or through the secret entrance. It's actually easier through Arvin's house, I believe. And
you also can run into the treasure chests on the way too.
Yeah, and you can run the treasure chest that way too. There's like 2 or 3 treasure chests that way. And Cat Hood, that's a good item for caster.
Yeah,
and also good for money
good
making.
items. Let's see if we find
Economizer, Dragonhorn, also Economizer. Ooh, that's a veteran. That's not a good fight. That's a reset. Now you have to go into the caves there, and you go to where the Moogles party at. You talk to the Lone Wolf there. He's going to run away, and there's actually an additional item behind them as well. So,
yeah, that's the Moogle charm.
As the Moogle would normally be the Moogle charm spot.
All right, here's another fight that's much more doable. Just a lowly scorpion.
And Kefka on top of the wrong tower here.
Trust me, you could ride. You could ride on the turtle's back, Scorpion. Anyway, yep. So Kefka, from his light of judgment on top of his Fanatics Tower, giving his crowd what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Falcon Hit with access to Bolt 2. It looks like that's what he's going to be doing to defeat this fight here.
Doomsting, that makes this interesting.
Oh no, come on.
Come on, Kupan.
Do the thing.
Kupan.
I feel like Bart
I'm not doing that the whole race.
Do the thing.
I'm not doing that thing the whole race.
Okay, fair enough.
Kupan.
Yeah, so Falcon Hit here with access to Bolt 3 from that really cheap Zen Thief Esper. Also stocked up on some ethers here to refill the magic, because he did not go and see these economizers here. And it looks like Zen0bian taking another reset from a bad Coliseum grind fight here.
Now this is for a set of Dragoon, so they can go on any of the characters. We usually want to put on a high vigor character, which I'm pretty sure will not be Strago.
Or a fast character, which also will not be Strago.
Hey, that's a lot better than Zen0bian. One shot there.
Yeah, when you stop doing useless stuff as Coliseum AI, better things will happen to you. Alright, so we'll see. So the Dragoon set is Dragoon Boots, Dragonhorn, and a high-powered spear. And that certainly is a high-powered spear. The Aura Lance, the best one in the game. So very nicely done for the Coliseum win. Meanwhile, Falcon Hit is going to get his Dabbing Yeti at the bottom of Fanatic's Tower here. And since he did peak Lone Wolf, we already know that is either an Esper an item at the Umaro Cave. And hey, maybe that entices Falcon Hit to go to the Lone Wolf Moogle room for all of his dances.
Maybe, and then also we're getting the Yeti. We know it's probably going to be an Esper. We know there was no character back there. It's also going to give us a Tri-Touch check. And one of the dragons we need for a second set of Dragoon gear when you head up the hill in Narsh. Zen0bian going into the Ebbett's Rock. Now he has to collect 22 bits of coral in the random of the most random in this thing.
Yeah, so I know we play randomizers, but we tend to not like too much RNG. We like enough RNG so we can handle it, right? And that's basically what Ebbett's Rock is. It's sort of a procedurally generated dungeon. Yeah, believe it or not, the SNES could do procedural generation. You didn't think it could be done, folks.
Now, the Yeti has been pilfered of his snow muffler immediately on Falcon's side.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll be ditched at the altar here. Falcon is going to go for the same thing as the Zen0bian.
Yeah, so I don't mind Ebbett's Rock as a check as much as some other people do. It always feels way worse than it actually is, except when you're in a race and you're feeling behind. Then it just feels awful all the time. But there is a boss in here somewhere, I promise. And it's one of the better Strago? I don't know. Like, Strago checks are notoriously maligned by much of the community because there's Fanatics Tower and Burning House and now this here. So we'll see if Zen0bian can get through this boss, and he probably will. My favorite punk band, Rizopus and the Piranhas here.
Yeah, Piranha's definitely an easier boss here. Kind of a shared HP pool.
Yeah,
it's more of a time waste. This is just an all time waster in this cave, really.
Yeah, this is a bathroom break between 5 and 55 seconds, and it's more RNG in the side of the RNG dungeon. So fun times are ahead here. So I wonder if either one of our runners decide to go over to Thamasa and head into the burning house after this. I don't anticipate it, but it's play.
I think piranhas are mad that all their coral was stolen from their reef, and that's why they're fighting our guys.
Yeah.
I'm going too deep on this. I know. I'm sorry. It's 11:30 at night, people. Okay.
Piranhas are here to save the Earth. They're like the
Captain Planet. You call them the piranha Captain Planet?
Yeah, they're like the sea creatures that despise the humans for dumping all the trash into the ocean. You know, they're the real anti-heroes of this story.
We just went from Finding Nemo to Captain Planet, and then we merged that into Planet of the Apes, all in just one line there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna take pollution down to zero. Speaking of down to zero, that's how much HP Rizopus has, so that's why Zen0bian takes home this win. If he runs out of the cave, it's a character, and it is another character.
All right.
It is a Moogle. Okay, so it's not Terra or Locke or Gogo, so we'll see which Moogle this is.
I'm guessing Edgar.
Give me Cyan.
Nope, Shadow.
Shadow with Slot.
Okay, Slot Shadow. So I'm guessing Yeti will be dumped here on Falcon's side for Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, the simple term of, don't want Yeti to Yeti.
Nope.
We are making this a family affair with Drago and Shadow, though.
Yeah, so this is interesting now because Shadow opens up some possibilities, including Gal Manor for a free check, the Cave on the Veldt, which actually will teleport you to this very World of Ruin Thamasa after you're done with it, and the three-part floating continent check. What do we think? Are we even considering doing the floating continent now, or are there just other better checks?
Not when we haven't done Magitech Facility yet.
Yeah. So even though the floating continent is a bit of a longer check, remember that we need to get 12 bosses to unlock the Kefka Tower skip. And as of right now, Zen0bian has one, and Falcon Hit, that was his second boss dead. The magic number is sort of 9. That's where you can overload your party number 3 and take the middle slot up through the tower. And sayonara Umaro.
Moogle skins only. This is the Moogle Club.
Yep.
Club Kupo.
Yeah,
Club Kupo with a C was club. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree with ditching Umaro here. Let's see what's at Gal Manor. It is a ghost, so that's not an Esper. Rather, it is an Esper or an item. It is not a character.
We're picking up our vanilla dried meat there. And as an Esper Infrit, we got Infrit with Shiva.
Very nice. The dynamic duo.
Ice 2, helpful for Tiger later on. It's not Ice 3, sure, but it's helpful.
Yeah.
Although I think we already got... No, it was both 3. Never mind.
Yeah, we got both 3, and we got Fire 2 from a Flame Shield in the basement of South Figaro. So now we've completed all of the different main elements of the game here with that Esper. We'll see where Zen0bian wants to go next here.
Since he's going to World of Ruin, I'm going to guess this Cave on the Veldt here for Zen0bian, which I am right. And
interesting.
For Falcon Hit, it might be the same. No, he's going to go to Gau's house as well. It's interesting here how Falcon Hit was ahead while they were each going to the same places here, and now Falcon Hit, after picking up Umaro, now Zen0bian's kind of taking a half a step lead on where we're going to each check here.
Yeah, so I wonder if our runners are going to favor checks with Monster in a Boxes. By runners, I mean Falcon Hit, right? Because Zen0bian does not have the Valiant Knife. So we'll see if Falcon Hit decides, hey, I want to go do Shadows checks, because both of his other checks, other than Gal Manor, have Monster in a Boxes in there, so I can get an offering to pair with my Valiant Knife. So thank you, both Chucks Up and Doesn't for the raids. Appreciate it. Welcome. And Falcon Hit is heading up to the floating continent to chase those 4 bosses and to chase to chase the monster in a box for an offering. Meanwhile, that's a ghost sprite on the ground.
Yeah,
so this is going to be a dead
cloth.
check for Zen0bian. So Zen0bian maybe here is hoping to get a nice high tier item out of this check, and it is Rexall.
Well, luckily we got rid of Yeti for both of these cases.
Uh-oh.
Oh
no.
Whoa!
Oh, no!
What? So Trapper Fight
Wow.
and Doomgay showed up. Okay.
Yeah, F's in the chat for Falcon Hit there. Party wipe to the first encounter on the floating continent at level 15.
Okay.
He's going to take off the Moogle Charm, take a fight.
Just to Magic Facility. Don't just walk around randomly. Just go to Magic Facility.
Yeah, he's looking to get off of level 15 here and then go to the floating continent right away.
All right.
So when you got one thing on your mind, you know.
Once again, one of the flags we did not show there again is shortcut is 12 bosses. That did come into play yesterday when both runners ran to the right side of the Kefka's tower to get the 12 bosses each of them needed before re-entering 2, 2, and 1 on the run set there. Now, that that was open road though, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, so Zen0bian taking on Rexall here for this high tier item. He is going to get some levels out of this as well, assuming his entire party survives. Kupo is having a bit of a problem there. I think that's Shadow, if I'm not mistaken.
You're saying Kupo went pop? Oh, not quite yet. He's just sad.
And the fun don't stop.
Actually, no. Kupo is Shadow.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
There it is.
Tan is Celeste. Tan is Strago. Pop is Shadow.
Yeah, it should
we'll figure it out.
Shadow, right? Another level 5 Doom, and this time it's only Kupo that's hitting the ground. Wow, Shadow is getting bullied on both of our runner screens here. Oh, that is an offering. It's too bad, again, that Zen0bian did not find the Valiant Knife in
you're right.
in the barrel.
Oh, okay, so one has one part, one has the other part. Zen0bian will never find the VK there.
No.
There'll be no reason to go back to that barrel. So,
no.
Is Falcon Hit going to do Cave in the Veldt at some point? We'll probably likely do it, especially when you'll see a... since he has a low Esper count, you'll see the ghost on the ground there, so he will definitely go after that. Zen0bian noping out on the Yeti here.
Yeah, he's probably doing it just for the time being. Because,
he's resting,
you know what?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Because he needs to get some Espers, and yeah, Yeti does open up his one check, and we do know it's an Esper from peeking at it. But
Yeti is a good. Yeti's a good check here because you get 2 boss fights, 2 checks, and you get a dragon looped in to go after the second Dragoon set, which anybody can use, which you'll probably equip on Shadow. So
yeah, I am surprised that Zen0bian went for the known dead check, but like I said, he doesn't have the Illumina or the Valiant Knife that Falcon Hit did. Maybe he's looking for some sort of physical offense in the seed, or he knows, you know what, I'm already all the way through this check. Let's just fight this boss here to add to my boss totals. And Falcon Hit, meanwhile, probably won't get that offering from that check because he'll probably notice it's a dead check and then warp out there. So again, both of these runners have something that the other kind of wants here at the moment.
Yeah.
First boss coming up for Falcon Hit.
Ooh,
and Zen0bian is...
dragon.
Yeah, so maybe this is, let's see what boss is at the top, and hope I don't use all my magic on it so I can kill the dragon afterwards.
This will be 2 dragons. So you can get the one dragon here at the tower, and then you get another dragon at the Yeti ice farm there.
Yep.
So, yeah, those are 2 dragons.
And that is Falcon Hit's third boss dead with Leader. I don't know, Blinken, you missed it. I barely caught it out of the corner.
Oh, wait, who was it? Leader? Do you, I mean, really?
Yep.
Cat Hood here again.
Yep, number 128 is the second boss here. I really like how in the newer versions of Worlds Collide, how this background does not scroll nearly as fast. It's a lot nicer on my eyes.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of great quality of life improvements that the community has been doing. So shout out to all of the coders out there for helping out.
And without the coders, wouldn't we have this wonderful game? Oh, and Square Enix, but okay. Anyways, moving on. Oh,
Yeah,
again,
so-
Poppy, if you missed it, that's a dead 128.
Yeah, with access to Bolt 3 from the Zen Thief Esper, a lot of these mechanical bosses are going to go down very fast because of the fact that they're weak to lightning magic. And thankfully, this Kefka won't be too big of a problem here
Oh,
for
it's another
Zen0bian.
Moogle.
Hey, is Cyan here?
No, it's Gao.
Oh, wow.
And we do have dried meat, so we will be able to do the Velt check as well after this, if wanted.
Yeah, we don't know what Gao has on him, but he does get 2 random commands and not just 1.
Well, given the random commands we've had so far, there's at least one of them should be good.
Yeah, right?
Monster box hit check here for Falcon Hit. We do find the Katana Soul for the offering. He does have VK, so he will want this. Does not have Muddle, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is a nice find though for Falcon Hit because he will get the offering out of this here. We don't have Stray, right? Or we do have Stray.
Oh, we do have Stray. There it is, Muddle.
There is actual Muddle.
Okay.
So we could have used the Stray, Summon Esper, or we're going to use Muddle here and do this the vanilla way.
Okay, well, there we go. Slayer Edge comes through. Kapow there. And we get our offering with some pretty good monies, too.
Yeah, so unlike in the previous seed where we were a bit nerfed on shopping, we're going to get some good gold. And since we got the cat hood, right, we're going to get all of the gold that we can get from that particular battle. So that's really nice.
Yeah, so shout out to yesterday. We were mentioning Sabin's Claw there. It was a quarter the cost selling. We started with 0 gold as well. So yeah, selling and buying of products was definitely at a premium from the last race. So
yeah, so I don't know what was particularly in shops besides more earrings and Atlas armlets. Nothing really jumped out at me.
From last race?
No, in this race.
Oh,
here.
this one.
Falcon it just grabbed 88,000. Grabbed 88 G's, so we can do something with it.
Well, Umaro is overcome with joy seeing his Moogle brethren, I guess you could say. He's kind of one of us there.
I'm your boss.
Yeah, well,
Kupo.
Zen0bian will not be picking them up. There'll just be a character slot for them, and a couple of good checks, as we mentioned before.
Umaro is a snow muffler and nothing more in this particular seed,
Wow.
unfortunately.
So does that make him like a one of those Honda Civics you soup up and you just put the muffler on? Is that what Umaro is?
Muffler is the coffee can muffler, exactly.
Oh, God. Well,
Here we go. Zen0bian getting...
not enough money. 3,000, not enough money? What's wrong with you? You're cat hook, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of monsters in this game, or a lot of bosses rather, don't give a lot of money. It's only the grind fights that give you money.
Ultros numero dos for Falcon.
And there is our Stray with the Bolt 3, so he will have access to Bolt 3 and Berserk, which is always a nice, good utility spell to have in case we run into bosses that are weak to Berserk.
And there's that VK offering going to work. They're doing about 2,400 damage, and that's another Magicite for Falcon Hit, number 4.
Yeah, let's see what's on it here. Merton will stop action as well.
Martin.
Oh, Zen0bian runs into Doomgaze in the form of Tritok. Thankfully, he has Ifrit, and he probably has Fire Dance, but I don't...
Yeah, he's Fire
got
too.
Fire. Okay. All right, he's okay.
Oh, yeah,
here.
we had the Flame Shield, so we know we have Fire too.
Yeah, he's okay here.
Yeah.
This would have been an awful reset
pummel.
if we did not have Fire too.
Apparently we're punching the ice instead of, like, burning it away.
Yeah, we might not... I don't know what Zen0bian's levels are. I would guess they're like 15 or so, maybe?
Oh, you would have learned it by then.
I thought Fire Dance is 17. I might be wrong.
The one I can never remember is when the wind one kicks in.
That's like the second to last one.
Yeah, because the last one is Mantra, right?
The last one is Spiraler at 42, and then you
Oh,
get Bum
Spiral.
Rush.
What does that even do?
It removes Sabin from the fight, but it heals your entire party, and it gives you it clears all their status effects from it. Never use Spiraler. I actually had so one time on tier 2, my Blitz user got zombied right with Doomtusk, because that's Alexander there for Zen0bian.
Now
so
that's
my Blitz user got zombied from Doomtusk, and then as I was about to use the Revivify, the zombie character used Spiraler and removed himself from my party.
Oh, my
that's nice.
goodness!
I agree on that.
So, but this is a check that Falcon just has to randomly fall into. Ice 3, Cure 2. I mean, this might be a change here in the lead here.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to your Blitz user being Spiraler and he zombie Spiraler.
Yeah, so he basically used Spiraler, took himself out of the match or out of the fight completely, and he was my calmness protection. So I couldn't use calmness protection on tier 3 either. It was a total disaster. Anyway, Huge is here for Falcon Hit at the end of the floating continent, and we've got an Opera House dragon here for Zen0bian. I don't think he learned Berserk yet. This is one of a few bosses you can use Berserk on.
Falcon Hit did. I don't know if Zen0bian did. Interesting dragon play here, given that we have other dragons that we can loop in more easily. Like climbing down the climbing down Magi Tower, and doing the Yeti check on the way to do the Tritosh and Yeti checks. But you know, I mean, we could get 4 dragons as well, so.
Yeah, so this is nice because we didn't do the Fanatics Tower dragon, but we're gonna do this one. So,
this is not White Dragon. We don't mute it.
Yep. So I'm gonna dip out for a little bit. I will be back later. I'm sorry to leave you here by yourself, Mr. Save Wolf, but you could do it. Ragnarok Esper, let's go.
All right, Ragnarok Esper coming off the ghost there at the end of the Three Stooges fight, as Falcon Hit is going to that place we just mentioned there, Narsh World of Ruin, where we are going to see a dragon going up the hill. There's nothing on that Ragnarok Esper, unfortunately. So I'll be taking out the dragon there. That's going to be one first dragon of 2 to get the next Dragoon set there. Also, thank you, Maugre, with the Prime subscription. Once again, we remind everybody that if you do subscribe to our channel, all the proceeds go to charity. We do not take any of that in for ourselves. We donate that to various charities in our community. Yeah, K-pop is missing out again. Can't get that Korean dance music, I guess. Zen0bian, right on the heels of Falcon Hit, they're going to go to Narsh, but they already have 1 dragon in their pocket, so when they do get up to the ice field up here, they will be getting their second dragon for the second Dragoon set. Falcon Hit avoiding the dragon, going up to the save here first. Very much safer play. Level 26 across the board. This should be pretty good levels here for this dragon. And it is a vanilla dragon. We do have Fire 2, once again, thanks to the Flame Shield. However, you best be frozen, and it is Mog himself that's frozen. Zeno apparently did pick up a VK from somewhere. He did not get it in that... Oh, it was the Opera House reward, was it? Let me check the cat here. Cat, was that the Opera House reward too for that? Or do we know? Opera House golden check? Yeah, it was the VK. So he did pick up the VK after all, even though skipping the chest, the barrel there, in South Figaro ends up picking the VK anyway. So wow, lots of things coming up Zen0bian's way between getting the random encounter of Zone Seek and now pick up the VK from the Opera House.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome actually. So we've got two different worlds, right? This is or is it both World of Ruin here?
No, they are right next to each other. They are high-fiving each other going across the ice fields here. Falcon Hit already finishing their Ice Dragon. Zen0bian 2 characters getting frozen this time.
Ugh.
And that is Guardian at the Tri-Touch spot. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes with the Moogle sprite when they get frozen or not. The wings are the giveaway for me anyway. So 2 frozen wings, and that's never what gets served, right?
Yeah, it's true. And Zen0bian getting through that fight a little bit faster than Falcon Hit. Is going to pick up the forced armor, so not that great an item off this dragon, but is going to pick up a second set of Dragoon gear that will likely go in Shadow.
Yeah, so now Zen0bian's offense looks like it's taking shape a little bit more with the Valiant Knife offering and the 2 Dragoon users. Did Falcon Hit go to the Coliseum yet? I don't think he did.
No, Falcon has not gone to the Coliseum, so he has not gotten his first Dragoon set. He's only sitting on 1 dragon, so while Falcon Hit is sitting at 0 Dragoon sets, Zen0bian has 2.
Yeah,
and that is a dead check off the Tri-Touch check there from Guardian. It is a Magus Rock. Blah.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen that this seed. Unfortunately...
Good routing, but bad results.
Yeah, so I think the thing is, right, with access to, Ice 2, Fire 2, and Bolt 3, maybe Falcon Hit decides that I'm just going to use Magic for my other users here instead of doing instead of bothering going to the Coliseum for the Dragoon set, right? So,
yeah.
So the Pearl Lance was the second Dragoon set reward, so that's a pretty good one. Pearl Lance is second best spear in the game. Of course, not counting the Imp Halberd, which has all sorts of other things that you need set up for it. Thankfully, it is a piece of magicite here at the Yeti Cave, so this is not a complete waste of time.
Yeah, that is true. More of a waste of time for Falcon than it is for Zen0bian, but and it's going to be Chad.
Ugh. Speaking of waste of time.
Yeah. But we do have Fire 2 to get through this fight, so should be able to get through this without too much difficulty.
Yeah, so Falcon Hit, after his trip to the floating continent, is at 7 bosses. This will be his 8th here with Chatternook. Meanwhile, Zen0bian is only at 4, so he'll be at 5 and then 6 after Guardian.
That's a disappointing number there for Zen0bian.
Well, he still has some Espers to go. 1 character, right? But he still has quite a few Espers to go. And you only really need to get to 9 in order to utilize some of the skip, right? So it's not a huge deal here. So meanwhile, Falcon Hit is chopping down the tree known as Chatternook there. Counters with lightning on pretty much every move, so this boss not only takes a while from the form changes, but from all the counterattacks. Thankfully, it is dead now.
Well, it was a tree. It got turned into paper, so... I mean... A little late in the process there.
Yep.
So we do get that Palador Esper officially now after that, but it looks like we're going to warp out before we get to take a peek at it, because, menu boss is the hardest boss in the game for any runner to try to beat.
Yeah, you only want to go into your menu as little as possible, so only want to do it really when you're saving. And that's what a lot of our top runners do. That's like the biggest piece of advice I give myself, as well as runners, is only menu with you when you save, and save after every check.
Reforming the party here for Falcon Hit.
Yeah, this is the Velt check, I think, right?
Yep, this will be Gao. Yep.
Has Falcon Hit tried to jump off of the airship? I don't think that's how the Velt check works.
That's not the way you want to go down here. We'll piggyback this check into the cave, into the Velt cave as well. We know that is another S. Oh no, that's not an S.
No, that's the offering. That's the dead check. Yeah.
So will be a dead check for Falcon Hit, not so much for Zen0bian, because that's how they got their offering.
Yeah.
So versus Falcon Hit, who got his offering the quote unquote normal way by going after the Katana Soul. So.
Yeah, I don't anticipate Falcon Hit to actually go through with the Velt Cave check, knowing that it is a dead check there. Because he does have...
there would not be an Esper on the floor, you're right.
Right, he does have 8 bosses, so he's set up pretty well for Skip here. And this will be an Esper for Falcon Hit, feeding the merchant sprite some dried meat.
Carbuncle.
Ooh. I think that's Strago on the floor. Oh, and he's not going to get the XP there.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, so this is going to be a slight, I don't want to say time loss, but a time give back here from Falcon Hit. He's going to go through Velt Cave. I don't think he's going to fight this fight, but again, just walking through it to go peek is giving some time back to Zen0bian. And there's Magic Power +1 and Ice 3. So that Ice 3 advantage that we thought that Zen0bian was going to have from running into Doomgaze is no more.
Oh,
and that's
we have
Fire
3. Yeah. That'll be on Tier 1 Kefka for the head.
Yeah, I think that was on the Esper that he just picked up from the Velt Cave. So that means Zen0bian's got to go all the way to the floating continent to get Gao and then do the Velt check right afterwards. Oof. So for Zen0bian, where is his 6th character going to be? It either has to be at Burning House, or Opera House, or Magitech 3 for him at this point, right? And it looks like
he's going to Magitech there, yep, on that note.
Yep, so this might be a full clear of Magitech Factory here for Zen0bian, because it is 4 bosses as well. And he is currently on 6 bosses.
He was on 6? Okay.
Yeah, he was on 4
so that's
before.
10.
Yes, he was on 4 before the Tritok fight.
Falcon Hit forgetting to put the Mukacharm back on there before when he entered the cave. Now he has it back on now. Already got the offering, so it's going to skip the monster in the box on that side and left side there. And too many people check that one, though.
Yeah, I mean, unless you obviously need it, then there's no reason to. Mr. Narrator said that Fire 3 is on Pallet Order, which is from Umaro's check. Thank you very much, chat. Falcon Hit sees the bad news, and that's another Warp Stone for him.
Yeah.
So we'll see where Falcon Hit goes. He only needs 2 Espers in order
Bad doggo.
Yeah, he only needs 2 Espers in order to get the Kefka Tower unlock. I would be heading to the same place where Zen0bian is right now, the Magitech Factory.
Yep, and
the
that's
first
exactly
2 parts
where he's going.
Yeah, the first 2 parts of this check are Esper or item rewards.
And we got Poombubba, who's a big hunk of HP to get through here.
Beefy boy. And unfortunately, he has his Valiant Knife user healed, so the Valiant Knife user is not doing as much damage as they potentially could.
No.
Strago with X Magic again, reminiscing of our seed yesterday. Taking some damage there from Funbaba's counterattacks.
That's the wrong character. He does not have the VK knife.
No.
That's the VK knife user. Go after Pop. You gotta hop on Pop there.
Yeah, so Zen0bian's gonna be hopping on, well, I don't know, Funbaba's Pop. It is Fun Daddy.
Whoa, whoa.
It's not Daddy Llama.
Okay, we have enough daddy. We have too many daddy issues here.
Yeah, there's too many father figures in Worlds Collide.
And yes, and it's a great community. We do chit-chat about our kids and everything here, so it's a great family environment to jump into as well. Speaking of jumping, we're jumping for joy there on Zen0bian's side, kicking out the Poombubba as Falcon Hit just starts the fight. And we are rewarded with an Behemoth suit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, at least
Decent armor.
Strago can. Well, no, okay. In
Again,
the vanilla game, Strago can wear it, but yeah, you're right. You're about to correct me with 100% of the time they fit equipment every time.
all the things are possible. Because we are Moogles. We are experts in all the arts of itemizations here. Does that make all Moogles artificers?
They're like
I mean,
they're the clerks of the Final Fantasy world. They they detail and compartmentalize everything. And another Ultros.
One.
Yeah, so with Tre Fuego, this is not going to be a problem.
Well, we're doing Bolt instead. We're keeping it.
We didn't learn Tre Fuego yet. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. We know that Zen0bian is going to continue on. Well, okay, we don't know, but I predict he will continue on here.
Oh.
Bahamut Esper. Let's see what we got.
Nothing.
Gutter Tier Trash. It is a good summonable Esper, though, for the final battle. Falcon Hit, I don't think will continue on. I think he'll probably warp out after the second spot.
Dr. DT was going to come in hot with a dad joke there.
Yep. Yeah, Ultros doesn't last too long normally in our races.
No, but I do like the new. Now this is we're on the old patch in case some people are wondering about how the map might be looking different, and that Mog only has one check. The Ultras League is on the new patch. It's on the 1.2.2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Is the current patch beyond. The Coliseum is still in the old patch because this started back in November. So, yeah. And given that this is a league event, we try to keep it on the same patch if possible until the end of the event.
All right, so for real this time, I will be disappearing for a little bit.
Okay. So that was just a fake attempt. Okay,
it was a false alarm, but now it's a pick me up at this other spot instead. So I will be the designated driver for the night, and I'll be back in a bit.
All right, well, come back with some ice cream for me, will you?
For sure.
Zen0bian, forgetting that these monsters actually have reflect on, is going to kill themselves with that both reaction there on poor Strago. Yeah, I'm actually missing out the Girl Scout cookies this year too. Falcon only one Esper away here from the Kefka unlock. Looks like they're going to be heading up into the auction house because we do not have Rome. For Jidor, we do have glowing stones available, so let's see if we can get a little bit of luck here. First time lucky for Falcon Hit there. That is a Tri-Touch Esper at the reduced number amount too. Meanwhile, Zen0bian, who will be getting an Esper at the end of this ride, will be sitting at 5 characters, 7 Espers, so they are a little bit behind here. A character and 2 Espers behind. So Falcon Hit with a big advantage here in the running. Not gonna run out. So there is our Kefka unlock for Falcon Hit. They will be going to the tower very soon. Falcon Hit trying to avenge for yesterday's loss, by the way, and is at only a 53-15 Kefka tower entry. Very early on here for Kefka Tower. And is going to do the overload set on the right side to pick up the last couple of bosses for shortcut before resetting out and then re-climbing the tower again with a 2-2-0 set. So basically, this setup is a 0-0-4 setup where you have your main body on the right side. You're going to kill the bosses going up the tower on the right side. You're going to reset back out. You'll have the shortcut after doing that. And you'll be fighting the last couple of bosses, but you start at the switches where the basically halfway up the tower. But yeah, 53-15 on the tower entry. That is amazing. Yeah, let me double check the our tracker because Cat's got to keep us in line in that mode, and that is correct. That is correct. Falcon Hit dumped out after the first 2 checks after you get the Bahamut Esper. Well, Zen0bian is continuing on to try to get these boss fights out. And it is Infinite for the finishing here on the top. Meanwhile, Falcon Hit is fighting the first boss here, which is Dullahan at the Inferno spot. So Zen0bian now 2 Espers away in 1 character. Dullahan is one of those weird ones where they're actually covered in fire, but they're actually weak to fire. So, not one of the bosses that you can try to tell what they're weak against by just looking at it. It does get through the fight, learning Fire 3, unfortunately, after the fight, but it is what it is. Rando's got a rando. Zen0bian now going to the skies here, going to a floating continent. Now that will actually be, let's see here, floating continent will be, the bosses will be Leader, number 128, Ultras 2, and 3 Stooges at the end. We'll be getting Gao, which will be the 6th character, and the last 2 Espers he needs, which will be Zone-Seek and Ragnarok. So if he is able to stay through the end of the floating continent, he will get all the things he needs. He'll get his last character and he'll get the last 2 Espers he needs. But he has to stay on the floating continent the entire time to get there.
Hey, Saber, this is Chuck's joining you. I saw Swans dropped off, so I decided maybe I'll fill in for a little bit while he's gone.
Chucks, I appreciate you jumping in here.
For sure. So how are we looking?
We're looking good. We're looking good. So, like I just mentioned, Zen0bian is going to floating continent. That will be his 6th character and the 8th and 9th Espers if he stays to the end. So that will give him his Kefka unlock at the end of the floating continent. Also, looks like on Falcon Hit, unfortunately, we're in the lull stage of the Kefka climb. He's running up the other 2 parties here.
All right.
So nothing really doing for now on Falcon Hit's side for a little bit here. But how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just finished my Ultras League seed.
And what division are you in?
I'm in Elixir B this season. Yeah. Which has been fun. I mean, this was the first week, right? So just kind of figuring out where I'm at in it. Definitely really good competition in the Elixir division. So just doing my best. My goal is just to not finish last each week is kind of like what I'm going for. So,
well, 50% of the reason why you play is 90% of the reason why you want to win. Wait,
yeah,
what?
I guess you could look at it like that. Yeah.
And Chuck's up mentioned the Ultras League. This is a nice league we had. It just started. It's not too late to join. If you do join now, you'll be put in the tonic division. That is the lowest division. It's kind of breaking up by, like, I could just say by skill a little bit. Now that we're in the season 3, the levels have kind of evened out a little bit more. There's a Mega Elixir, Potion, and the tonic is at the bottom. And at the end of the season, the 6 best weeks you have out of the 8 that you ran will decide whether or not you move up into a higher division, drop down to lower division, or you stay right where you are. So it's a really nice thing to do, and we also run it during the summertime, so if you do have to go away for a vacation for a week, you're not going to miss much. You can drop the lowest time or a forfeited time to move on, and oh my goodness, we find a Magimaster.
Yikes.
I believe this is in the Guardian
he's got
position.
Berserk, though. That's a good sign. Makes it a lot easier to deal with him.
Yep, and since we stacked our party here, we have all the party members here. By the way, Gao would morph and jump, so already had jump. We don't even need the extra Dragoon set there for Gao. But anyways, going back to Magimaster here, again, having the Berserk, that makes it a lot easier. Plus the fact that we stacked our party with the 12 bosses needed, kind of helped in this.
Yeah, I missed out on this Coliseum tournament, so I'm not super familiar with the flags. But what I've seen of it, it does look really fun, and like a good kind of mix-up from just running like standard seeds all the time.
Yep. So the Coliseum was a 4-month-long event. We started this all the way back in November, and this is the final match of the entire, at least on the Coliseum side bracket. This is match actually number, I believe, 66 of the entire event. Well, we also had a Chupon's Pit for those of you those people that didn't qualify in the top 32 for the 32 person tournament double elimination. And then all the flags were all of the flags were the same. Basically, you need 12 bosses for shortcut and stuff like that. But then there was minor changes between each flag set that was based on each character. So if you played, for instance, the Mog set, there was more Dragoon and Dance related. If you played the Sabin one like we did yesterday, that was a little more difficult of the solo traveling monk onto the mountains, so that if you did the 3 mountains, you got a little reward for it and stuff like that. So each week was based on an individual character, was never repeating. Never saw Celeste, unfortunately. But
that would have been fun. What would Celeste have been like? Something with Runic, or
actually, had to do something with Magitech. I know that.
Sagaro or something.
I know how to do something with Magitech.
Oh, Magitech, that would make sense.
I can look that up for you really, really quick here. Give me 1 minute. As Zen0bian picks up their 8th Esper. Now, again, he is continuing on. There will be a 9th Esper at the end of this. As Falcon Hit gets that statue boss down, that will reset the party into a 2-2-0 format. Or, sorry, 2-0-2, rather. Because you want the... you already ran up the middle. So now we go back down on the switches again. 102.03 was the shortcut switch time. And you wanted to know where the flags were, right? So Celeste one, which we did not see. I didn't have that built either. I also didn't see Edgar's chainsaw either. Celeste was... if you perform in the opera, you would have gotten a Lumina.
Oh.
If you save Sid, you get a high tier item, which we find commonly in the charity events that we do. That's a Welk, so very easy boss for Falcon Hit on one of the statues. Let's see. Shock was not available. No, the other commands were. Celeste had her natural magic as her part of her vanilla setup. And Esper's equipable balanced random 7.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
not sure what that means, actually.
Esper's equipable balanced random 7.
Yeah.
So 7 random spells. Everyone can equip all the Espers.
And all the Espers will automatically teach 5 spells each.
Oh, okay.
No free checks. So her own check in the basement would not count for this.
Right. So it would be all those would be dead checks then, right?
Yep. And one of the other ones we did not see was the Edgar's chainsaw. If you set the Zozo clock, which was randomized, so it was not vanilla, you would get tools, a high tier item. Inventory was 100% random.
Huh.
Gold multiplier times 1. And sell fraction at a quarter. Oh man. And the last statue boss we hear for Falcon Hit is Zen0bian Behemoth, which at this stage of the game can be a very difficult boss, actually. It can be very much like Kefka. That is the Ragnarok Esper for Zen0bian. That is the last one they need. They'll take a look at it here, see if we have any changes. As they take off, that will be their Kefka unlock. at 104.25.
That's an interesting little cutscene graphic right there. Where'd that come from?
Oh, I made that.
Oh, nice.
It was a
I like
clip,
it.
It's a clip from the Steam version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And is one of Kefka's celebrations, I think it is.
Oh, okay. So you drop that whenever they unlock
Yep.
Final Kefka?
Yep,
I like
do.
it.
Zen0bian entering the Kefka's Tower at 104.50. Now that puts them, puts them 11 minutes and 35 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's going to be real tough to make up that time.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult when not being able to have any kind of bum rush or Merton strat ability here to rush through. We didn't find an Atma weapon either, so he is going to go on the shortcut immediately, though. So he is going to split the party 1-2-1, which means he is not going to go back because he did get the shortcut from going to the one to go on the last. So he's going to cut out the climb up the tower, which does cut out about 9 minutes. So technically speaking, he's only about 2 minutes behind, as Falcon Hit does get on the switches at 105.54. So he actually does cut out about 9 minutes of the Falcon Hit double climb up the tower here. But it is going to kind of be put in a tougher spot because we do know Senior Behemoth Slayer, we do know Magimaster is at that Guardian spot. So this will be a little bit more difficult for Zen0bian, having a much smaller party base. But moving on, we do have Falcon Hit, who was our winter bracket side champion. Moving into this, he did lose yesterday for Zen0bian. Zen0bian forcing the reset of the bracket, culminating to this event. Grand Final B, here we go.
And is this loser goes home in this race
is
right
winner
now?
take all. This is for the championship. The 4 months comes down to this.
All right.
How about you walk us through how do you do the Kefka climb at Tier 1?
Well, Tier 1, unfortunately, it looks like the X Zone missed right there because the first thing I try and do is take out Long Arm, and that's susceptible to instant death. So X Zone, death, number of Espers can get rid of that.
Oh.
Next thing you want to do is make sure that the... yeah, he's just getting whomped on right there, too. Next thing you want to do is make sure the head, which is susceptible to fire damage, gets taken out next, because you really don't want to leave that head for last. If you do, you're running the risk of the head casting a Quake spell upon death, which can be real devastating to your party. Final Kefka, if you finish any of these phases and one of your characters is dead, you do not get to carry them on to the next phase, and the only way to get them back would be if you wiped and had to reset it. So something you really want to avoid here.
Yeah, and off to a really rough start here, being popped twice there, because after the row change there, when you're first in the front row, you do take more damage than you were in the back row, as Kupan also takes a punch to the face.
Yeah, that reverse polarity can really be detrimental to your party if you're not ready to move quickly to the back row and you take too many hits like he did.
I'm almost tempted, like, when I go into Kefka, like, to reset my party to be in the opposite positions, but the one time I did it, they never did reverse polarity, so it kind of, like, defeated the purpose of it.
That's a big brain move, but yeah, it can definitely backfire if he doesn't reverse. I never thought of doing that, but that's very clever.
Yeah, well,
that
didn't work, because you never used it, so it's like,
I'll do the thing where if I have someone who's like a melee attacker, like with Valiant Knife or something, I'll start him in the back. Just because I'm so afraid of the damage that phase 1 can do to me physical, and then I'll move them up to the front like in the following phases. That's just kind of my strat.
Zen0bian also having Berserk there, so this will be a little bit easier fight here, with also having Strago, that's Kupan, having the double X, having X magic, able to drop down those bolts for 7,000 damage apiece. We'll now move on to Stage 2 there for Falcon Hit. So what is Stage 2?
Stage 2, we got a lot to deal with in Stage 2. So Gears in the middle is the one that you want to take out with instant death again. The guy at the bottom, the tiger dude, tiger, lion, whatever you want to call it, susceptible to ice. Panther, I guess, yeah. Susceptible to ice. He casts a lot of magic spells on you, which can be really devastating. You got the blue dude in the front, the human guy, who can actually be stopped, and he's going to be thwomping you with physical damage. When he dies, he does a 10-hit attack. That can actually, waste a lot of time if you just have to sit and take it. So any kind of like evasion or anything you have can kind of speed that up. But that's kind of the order that you want to kill him, and then save the guy in the back for last. His attacks are somewhat strong, but he at the end he'll do a couple dispels. So any kind of like life 3 or haste or anything, I try to save it until I get into phase 3, because he's basically just going to wipe it out. And a lot of these, the end of these phases in phase 2 and 3, you want to try and blitz through the damage as quickly as possible on the last kill. The reason being is that once these guys get low, they start doing some pretty crazy attacks. Like in phase 2, you'll get hit with like a quarter, which reduces your health by 75% on each party member if it lands on them. That can be really bad going into phase 3 if you just get hit by a meteor right away. And then in phase 3, you're going to face something similar where the dude in the front, it's not sleep, whatever that dude's name is, he will do something similar. Once he gets down to like less than 25% life, he'll just start wailing on you with all sorts of like high damage magic attacks. So what's helpful here is having a party member who can do like 20,000 or more damage in one turn. That way you don't have to deal with that final like 25% of health where they're really going to start hitting you hard.
Yeah, it's one of those rare fights where you see where it's in multiple tiers. You have tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's one of those rare instances where a previous tier sets up the next tier, as you were saying about the quarters going into an opener, maybe like Merton or something like that from sleep.
Yep.
In the stage 3, that does catch you off guard if you're not aware of that quarter. So that is a very good tip that we usually don't mention too often. Yeah,
I think it's kind of fresh in my mind because I just did a seed, but that's always something I'm kind of thinking about is like, how is this going to go in terms of, am I ready for this to kill this guy to move on to the next one? It's just something you want to like keep in mind as you're kind of moving through.
We have a lot of Moogles in the chat who could very much approve our parties of Moogles here. As we go into stage 3, you want to jump in the booth, I'm going to make it work. What is stage 3?
Stage 3, we got, I think they're called Girl in Sleep. I'm really bad with the names.
Yes,
but yeah, you got Girl in Sleep. Girl on the top, can't do any magic damage to her. She's going to reflect it back to you, so you can't cast magic on her. It's got to be, or no, actually I'm wrong. She doesn't reflect. She just
absorbs it.
So you got to do something like Flare, something that's a non-magic damage spell, something physical. She's only has about 10,000 life. So once you get her down, then you got to move on to Sleep. Sleep is going to have a lot more health, and you got to be really careful with him because, like I said, once he gets down to a certain percentage, I want to say it's about 25% of his maximum hit points, which I'm bad with math, so I don't know all the numbers. I just kind of go off of intuition. But once you get there, he's going to start casting a bunch of really high power magic spells on you. And so the strategy here is take out Girl first, and then once Girl's down, you kind of want to soft push on Sleep with maybe like one of your strongest spells and a couple kind of weaker spells just to kind of push him down. Then you're going to want to use an Esper or at the very least some form of calmness protection, because once Sleep dies, he's going to cast calmness once or twice on maybe the same member of your party or two different members of your party. And what that's going to do is just an instant kill. So you're going to need something like Fenrir, Golem, Phantom,
or Quick Vanish is what we're seeing from Falcon Hit right now.
Vanish works too, but the scary thing here is if you get hit by a meteor, it just takes the Vanish away. And so you really got to time those offensive abilities, because the worst thing that could happen here is that you You don't kill him, and then you get hit by a Meteo, and you've already queued up an attack, and then you take out the rest of his health, and then it triggers the calmness, and you lose a crucial member of your party to that calmness. So,
well, we quick fire 3, and the calmness does go on a 50-50 chance of hitting a vanish or non-vanish target. Does hit a vanish target, so we still have a full party at very low health, but that's not going to matter much. We do have a Mega Elixir in tow, and we are going to face the early the Fallen One opener from Kefka, as we ascend to the heavens one more time, the Coliseum 2, we hope, for Falcon Hit. Tier 4 Kefka.
Tier 4 Kefka, 60,000 hit points. You want to do math here. You want to make sure that you don't leave him with under 10k. Of course, he can hit you with that ultimate counter, which can just be a total party wipe. So in this one, you do want to be counting your damage. You're going to be throwing out as much damage as you can until he does Fallen One, in which case, if you have a Mega Elixir, that's going to be huge. Get your guys back up. He'll start charging for Goner. Ideally, kill Kefka before Goner goes off or right after Goner goes off, and it'll be a GG.
We do not have any shields. We only have one fire shield, so we don't have any super balls, we don't have any rods. So all the damage is going to have to come out the hard way, which is the fire 3 and the jump damage and our Illumina hits, or Valiant Knife, which the Valiant Knife hits do come out from this because the Fallen One does max out that damage. Looks like we're going to try to play with a little fire here for Falcon Hit, waiting for the requeue on the quick Valiant Knife combination coming out of our Mog, the mascot of the seed and flag set.
Yeah, Valiant Knife is just such a strong weapon, especially when you're sitting at 1 HP.
And that's a kapow.
And
Falcon
that's
Hit
a GG.
is
116.
our Coliseum 2 champion. GG's in chat, everybody. Well done indeed.
Like 116. 34 is a ridiculously fast time as well.
Yeah, that matches the fastest time of the tournament, I believe, or pretty close to it, that Zen0bian laid down in the semifinal against Drulith.
Yeah, insane, just all around, really good plays there from Falcon Hit, taking it home. We'll see if he wants to do an interview here.
We'll give him a minute. I'm sure he's dancing around his room, his living room, wherever he plays this game right now.
You know, I think Falcon Hit really earned this too, because he is just such a dedicated runner, and the times he puts up are just consistently just crazy when you look at the seeds he's doing. I mean, there's nothing that he does is not a jet seed. He just knows how to run, he knows how to read the seeds, and I think he really deserves this. So, grats Falcon Hit. Happy for you, buddy.
And there's Falcon Hit in our channel now. GG's to you.
Thank you. Oh, my heart is still pounding.
Oh, I bet. This was 4 months in the making, going through the entire winner's side bracket. Talk us through. Let's go back to yesterday. At the end of yesterday, knowing that after the loss, you had to come back again tonight to try to race again. What was going through your mind going into this?
I kind of felt okay, because, after the first loss, the pressure is off, right? I can just, play, I can just, focus up and play my own game. Oh no, Zen0bian looks like they're in a spot.
Oh, they do look like they're in a little bit of a spot. I mean, you were in that pretty much similar spot there with one of your characters down, about the same place, too.
I thought that Moogle Rush killed me.
So, by the way, early entry into Kefka's Tower, 53-15. That is lightning quick.
Oh yeah, but I was kind of sweating that Zen0bian was like following my same path because I did like a weird start where I basically started Fanatics Tower, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've got this like Esper with Bolt 3 on it, and if I do Fanatics Tower early, I won't have to like maybe have a very slow fight. Because the Fanatics Tower is one of those like checks where if you don't have good magic, you can just get like somewhat bottlenecked.
Hmm.
Oh, also, I didn't know that these credits had the Moogles. That's actually pretty cute.
Yeah, it's all Moogles. Oops, all Moogles in this flag set at least. But another interesting thing, you guys were, I know you mentioned it's like, oh, we're trying to do the same thing at the same time. You guys actually were doing pretty much the same checks at the same time. You were a little bit in front of Zen0bian until you did break off to do the tower, and then after you're done with the tower, then you were kind of chasing behind Zen0bian, but you were a little bit ahead because you did have the Yeti. You were able to locate Gao at the end of Floating Continent, Zen0bian last check Floating Continent. One of the biggest, craziest things that happened actually in the seed was actually the barrel check in South Figaro of all things, where you found a VK knife and Zen0bian did not. And you also found the offering from the yeah, whatever that monster in a box is.
Monster in a box.
Yeah, the monster in a box too, which Zen0bian did not. However, Zen0bian was able to get a VK knife off a dragon reward, and which was at the Opera House, and also got an offering reward dead check off of, I believe it was the Cave in the Veld.
Oh, that's
Which was the dead check that you skipped out when you saw it wasn't an Esper.
Wow, it's very strange how the offense kind of converged on itself. Did Zen0bian also get the Illumina?
Oh yeah, you guys found the Illumina, no problem.
Nice.
He was a little bit ahead also. You also, oh yeah, by the way, you didn't do the Coliseum fight, did you?
No, because this Coliseum's not stats, right? It's equipment, and
yeah.
At the time I was like, oh, I don't really need equipment, right? Because I have VK, Illumina, and Bolt 3. So I'm like, the Coliseum is not really like worth much as say like a stat increase, because like I have nobody to use this like Dragoon's head. Like I wouldn't take off. I guess I could have used it with the VK, right? As like a
technically,
as like a surrogate offering. But I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that, like, because it's like a low value Coliseum. So I was like, I'm just gonna skip it. My equipment is like very, very good.
Yeah, Zen0bian did do the Coliseum and also had 2 dragons as well. So we actually got 2 sets of the Dragoon gear versus your 0. What else was there? I mean, Shocks, you want to jump in there? I mean, I don't know how much of this you've watched, because I know you joined in a little ways into it.
I did come in pretty late.
Okay.
But yeah, Falcon, I mean, you're always just on top of your shit. Oh, sorry. You're always on top of your game.
We're after midnight now, I mean.
Yeah, hopefully the kitties have gone to sleep. You're always on top of your game, man. You're always running good seeds. Like I was just saying earlier when you were finishing up, you make every seed look like a jet seed. I mean, how many seeds do you run a day in practice? Like, be honest.
Early on, I ran like 3 seeds a day for like a solid month.
Wow.
But recently, I've kind of slowed down, so I'm just like one like a day, probably.
Okay. So you just have it down now to a point where it just seems like so natural watching you run. Like you're not even having to really think about, what your next step is, right? You're just kind of going with the flow.
Oh yeah. Although I did mess up the vanish combination.
Yeah, that was interesting. Walk us through the quick vanish thing on the tier 3 there.
Okay, so if you have 2 characters that can beat Final Kefka, you can use like a combination vanish, right? So you quick, and then you attack, because they can't attack on the first. They can't counterattack on the first turn. So you attack, and then you cast vanish on yourself, and then with another character, you cast Click, and then you cast Vanish, and then you do another attack, and that like combines to dodge Calmness, and you have Vanish onto your 2 best characters.
Huh.
It's a very niche strat, but it would have been good in this situation. Actually, it would have been bad in this situation because I didn't know Rest health was so low. So I probably would have died on the first BK and I would have had no vanishes.
Well, you turned the Calmness into a 50-50 chance, and it did hit a target that had vanished, so you actually lucked out on that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little bit risky. I'll just say that.
Ah,
I-
Well,
I
that's
wasn't-
what's
I
about
was-
though, right? I mean,
I was a
you're
little bit sleepy, so I wasn't keeping good track of like damage in my mind. So I thought he was at closer to 25, but he must have been closer to like 28. 28,000 damage. Sorry.
right.
And then he died on the double X magic, and I was like, oh, I was really expecting. Which was it? I was expecting to have to use X magic twice. Yeah.
Well,
Also, it was a
it
very
worked.
dangerous situation because all of my characters were on like sub 1,000 health. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna like play it safe and like use like quick double X magic on Trigo because that's like so much more damage.
That is
Then-
a kapow right there for Zen0bian, capping out this run at a 125.55, and joins us immediately in the room right after that. GG Zen0bian, congratulations on a well-fought battle. 2 days worth of battling, actually.
Ayo, that
Immediately in the
was
room right after
a
that.
pretty fun run
GG
through.
Zen0bian, congratulations.
It's much better
on a
than
well-fought
yesterday. I will
battle.
say
2
that.
days.
Oh,
It was-
yesterday was so bad.
It was so much more fun than yesterday. Could you tell from watching that I never, ever, ever do Dragoon?
Yeah, there's like weird edge cases with Dragoon, right? To get like maximum efficiency, because I'm not sure how many people know this, but the ATB because Dragoon, when you jump, it's like an 8-second ATB bar that counts down, right? It starts when you click the jump button, not when the animation plays. So in order to get maximum efficiency, you click the jump button during a cast animation, so that the ATB bar starts ticking during the cast animation. And then yeah, it's like weird. Jump is
It's
so weird.
definitely,
So
it's
then your
definitely a
jump lands
mechanic
faster.
that, yeah, it's like that explains like all of the weird cases where somebody jumps and then just immediately comes back down. That's why that happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just something that it's a mechanic that I very rarely use. I almost always opt to go for just either basic swings or offering or magic or almost anything instead of Dragoon. But I tried it here and it was pretty fun. I liked it. I think the 3 Dragoon would have been a bit too risky, so I opted not to do that, because then poor Strago would have just been tanking all of the full brunt of spells by himself, so I didn't want to go that crazy with it. But I'm guessing that Floating Continent early was the correct choice, which was not the choice that I made, but that's okay. I went for the silly places like Umaru's Cave and Fanatic's Tower, and I had fun doing it. It was a good time. Going up Fanatic's Tower with only, like, Fire 2 and finding a Pearl Rod on the way up, that was my Hail Mary. It worked out. It was good.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
Wait, did we both start Fanatic's Tower? Was that your first check?
No, he did it
No,
later.
I looked around for any kind of magic spell. I was trying to get Magicite before getting levels. That didn't really happen. And I had a very hard-fought first leveling fight against those, like, tricksters. That
Oh,
took a
the
while.
tricksters? Oh, I had Boreas, Iron Fist, and Ursus. It was
At first, I ran into
slow.
Woolies and Carcass, and I was like, I can't kill those. That's never going to happen. So I just reset, didn't take that fight. Or no, I smoke bombed away from that fight and decided to try elsewhere. But the early checks were definitely interesting with low offense, but then, like everything level 3 with X magic, and the VK showed up. The Genji glove off of Mog's check was 100% useless for me, but that's fine.
Same. I tried to make it work, but I never found like a second weapon to use with it. it would have been like a missile blade or something, or like a flame saber. I think I had a flame saber.
Oh yeah, we had a flame saber again. It was Biss.
Uh,
Tritalk was dead as per usual. Every time. Just never go to Tritalk. There's never anything there. Can we just make that a permanent item check at this point? Might as well.
But you did find Tritalk in the sky randomly, though.
Yes, that was hilarious. I thought I got an advantage out of that, but not going to Floating Continent until like 55 minutes negated any accidental Doomgaze advantage I might have accrued.
I had to press my shadow advantage because I started Fanatics Tower and went to hiding cave immediately.
I think
it wasn't my
I did
first
that.
time, actually.
I did that in reverse. I obviously did South Figaro, but then I went to Ebbets Rock, and for some reason Fanatics after that.
Actually,
It does.
I should clarify that I started Mog Check so that when I saw Umaro in Fanatics Tower, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this as a character, but I know that there's not a character behind this character, so I have to go do other things, right? So I was like, yeah, I think I'll just do hiding cave, and then it was Shadow, and I was like, oh, I have Shadow, I should press this advantage.
Yeah, that was
Characters were kind of sparse almost everywhere. Pretty hard to come across one.
Yeah, you were kind of locked up on the Gao at the end of Floating Continent, or Gao was in Floating Continent, rather.
Was there anything past him, or did we never find anything past that?
What you guys have for characters, what you guys had.
Yeah, I did the Gao and the Veld check, but that was a meta site. So I'm guessing the character was at Serpent Trench.
It was either Serpent Trench, you guys did not do Burning House, you didn't do Opera House.
Yep.
So those are the other three locations it might have been.
I don't like houses, what can I say?
Anything else you guys want to add on to this? I know you've been running for 2 nights straight here. So I know you guys are pretty tired.
in chat, Lunar's saying, tell Zeno about the barrel, ?
Oh, tell him what happened with the barrel. Okay, so when you guys were looting at the early game, you did not look in the barrel in South Figaro next to the mayor's house. That was a VK, which Falcon Hit did look into, Zen0bian. Then later on, Falcon Hit found the offering and the monster in the chest on the Floating Continent as well. However, you were able to pull out both, getting a VK reward off a dragon and an offering off the dead chick in the Cave of the Veld.
See, never punished for bad decisions. It's fine.
Apparently, I mean,
I don't know if you're looking at chat, but they're just piling on now. Green Monkey says he also didn't get the Illumina, and Ceiling Cat says, and the one in the cider basement.
Oh, you missed the Illumina in the cider basement, apparently.
I normally do that. I did South Figaro backwards today for some reason. Normally I do... I would do the basement in balance, but I wanted more loot before checking for a grind down there, so I ended up doing the basement in ruin instead, and thus I never ended up going to the item shop, which meant I never went into that house that has the pot in it. I don't know how I missed the VK, though. Probably because I worked 12 hours and then immediately came home and did this race.
Yeah, you never went around the backside of the mayor's house to go in the side basement or the wine cellar or whatever it is.
Mistakes were made, but that's okay.
No,
this was still really good. This entire tournament was really, really good. I'm glad I got to play, like, literally every race. I'm very happy with that. I cannot complain about a second at all. Thought I was going to get knocked out by really early. Thought I was going to lose to Jack in round 1 and there'd just be a downhill from there. But it was a great time. Loved the modular flag sets that just slightly changed each week. I say slightly. They all felt and played very differently, even though it's only a list of like 7 little changes. Those changes make a huge impact. Very well designed. This is my kind of thing.
Oh, and one thing to note, one thing we also want to note, I don't know if you guys saw that, because we actually made a mistake ourselves. On this Moogle set, the wolf check for the 8 dances, That was actually when you talked to Wolf in the World of Ruin. When you talked to the Moogles in the Moogle party house there in the World of Ruin. That is when you got the 8 dances.
I knew where that was, and I just ruled it out immediately because I thought, I have unlimited equipment permissions. Why would I use dance? I'm not going to walk all the way over there just to get dances. I looked at the first dance we started with and thought, well, this is trash, not using this command. Let's go find a spear.
He did. You actually
Not
got
a
2 of the
bad idea.
Dragoon sets.
Yeah, didn't get anything really valuable out of the Coliseum. I tried for something nice. It was a veteran, so I had to instantly reset. So I just ended up getting like a circlet or something just to get the Dragoon.
Yeah,
But sometimes
it
that's
was
what
an
you gotta do.
economizer because you had Strago with X magic.
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted an economizer. I think there was one for sale somewhere too that I meant to go get but never did.
Hmm.
I think that was in Narsh. Also, shout out to that trapper that insta-killed me on my way to Floating Continent.
Nice.
Ah.
There were a lot of scary fights early on, but as seeds usually do, once you got past the early game, it was nice and friendly. We had everything we could have ever wanted. Except that Tier 2 gave me the business for like 5 minutes straight. I don't know what was going on there. I was having a horrible time. Got zombied multiple times. Got frozen a couple times. I just couldn't get past it.
Yeah, tier 2 can really be the one that creeps up on you that you're really not expecting. It seems like, typically it's just an easy win. But yeah, once in a while it decides just to be super nasty. Especially if you have like a heavy damage dealer, like with offering Valiant Knife or offering Fixed Dice or something. They get turned into a zombie and then it's just like, oh no, what is this guy gonna do?
Here comes the pain train.
Exactly.
And I don't want to ramble on too much into the night. Thanks for broadcasting this as late as it was. And thanks to Double Down and the testers and everyone that put it together. Because I have had a great time for the past couple of months. And I look forward to whatever the next thing we do is. Maybe after the current Ultros League. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be great.
I do know there's going to be another tournament coming up in a couple of months. Don't know if it's going to be Moogle's first tournament, or Moogle's second tournament, maybe, or not. But it will be about a month or so to wind down after this 4-month process. I mean, we got to rest up all around here. Any last words before we rock on into the Ultros League?
Not much.
I am spent.
All right. Well, want to give another shout out to. I'm sorry, Chucks, I did not add you into the commentary there, but you want to tell you what your Twitch handle is?
Sure. It's just twitch.tv/ChucksUp, CHUXUP. Thanks for letting me join late. I jumped on after I ran my seat. I saw you guys were running this Coliseum round, and when I heard that Schwantz was leaving, I've done commentary a couple times, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in here, hang out with Saber, just see what's going on. So I appreciate like everyone being so open in this community, and being super welcoming, super helpful. Like everyone I've ever interacted with in the Worlds Collide community is just like nothing but super friendly and wanting to help you out, give you tips, mentor, all that stuff. And like it's been less than a year since I started running Worlds Collide, and everyone has really been like awesome. So I really appreciate like all you guys putting this together, the restreamers, the people who broadcast, the runners, all the developers and everyone. It's like it's a huge group effort, and it takes a lot of work, and a lot of it is kind of like the unsung heroes of Worlds Collide that make it happen. They don't take or get a lot of credit for what they do, and it's a ton of work, but the end result is really incredible. So yeah, I'm just really grateful to be a part of it.
I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. It's been a great community. I'm glad I joined it over a year ago myself, and have seen this community grow, and it continues to grow on a weekly basis. So thank you for that. I'm going to follow up here. Once again, congrats to Falcon Hit, the champion of the Coliseum 2. I don't know if you're going to get a golden Moogle statue or not, but that is to be determined by our commissioner, Double Down. So thank you to Double Down for the commissioner of this whole league. And yeah, that will wrap it up for us tonight as we play some championship music. Outro here for us all, and we're gonna raid. I guess we're gonna raid Ensign Wesley. Ensign Wesley is doing the Elixir B run, part of the Ultras League that we were just mentioning just a second ago. It's not too late to join the Ultras League, by the way. Head over to ultrasleague.com to register. If you do register, you'll be put in the Tonic League, so no frets there if you are new to the community or new to the racing as well. You will be put into a very, very low tier group, very easy group to try to get to know and get to play with. And you really have about 1 week left to join. So again, ultrasleague.com if you want to join in on that. Once again, I am Saberwolf. Thank you again for Chalks Up, Swans, Ceiling Cat, lurking in the background, of course, keeping us straight on the tracking. And of course, Falcon Hit and Zen0bian for running this race not once, but 2 nights in a row for this Coliseum Championship. Thank you all, and have a very, very good night. Bye-bye.